Welcome back to the Fan Channel Review. Hit the like and the share button. Make sure you are subscribing right now to the Football Terrace. Turn on the little bell notification button that is next to it as well so you don't miss any of the content we upload. Take a listen here. This is Mark Goldbridge. We've got a lot of content to go through this morning, but this is Mark Goldbridge reacting to some of the media news this morning and his view on some Man United fans. Take a little listen.
I mean, we've got an aggregator account on Twitter this morning that's apparently had a phone call from Qatar saying Qatar want to buy the football club.
Oh, I saw this. And look, maybe the Qataris still do want to buy the football club. I want them. But they're still yet to bid the asking price. Secondly, does anyone actually believe that? Does anyone believe that the Qataris went to a Man United aggregator account before they went to The Athletic, Fabrizio Romano, the Daily Mail, The Times, Reuters, CBB News? Do you really think? Come on!
Distraction, idiots. You've got most websites and other creators this morning going, AMORIM wants Osimhen. And you think, oh my God, do you really support Man United? Or are you actually just a moron? Like, what are you doing? Spending time talking about the validity of AMORIM wanting Osimhen the morning after yet another loss when our club is in the fucking sewers and we've just missed out on the January transfer window and you're talking about some fantasy story for the summer. And you wonder why we are where we are when we've got people in the fan base who want to go, United are after AMORIM. Wow, United are after Osimhen. AMORIM wants Osimhen. Oh, well, if we had Osimhen up front, we'd be cooking next season. Oh, I think we'd be fighting for the league. So, yeah, Man United want Osimhen. AMORIM wants Osimhen. And if we had Osimhen, we'd be cooking, man. Do
you know what's really funny about this? I agree with Mark on this. Do you know why? Because it leads into the manager in, manager out debates. Too many Man United fans think that there is a quick fix for everything. By the way, I don't think getting the Qataris fixes us quickly. I don't think buying Osimhen fixes us quickly. But that is what everybody's after. We need a quick fix. We've got to get back to the top. I'm glad Mark's calling out the fakeness of this. It's absolute fakeness of the highest order. I'm not saying it's the club brief in the media. I feel like some of this is genuinely made up. I think it's genuinely made up because what these media outlets know is that fans will flock to it. All those United fans who want instant gratification, they're normally in the manager in, manager out category. And by the way, not everyone that asks for a manager to be sacked is in that category. My rationale for Ten Hag going is the second he told us that he's never going to implement his style that he's famed for. I didn't see the point of him after that. Equally, though, I didn't believe sacking him would make us instantly title challengers back to the top within 12 months. Only fake people believe this. I agree with Mark wholeheartedly on that. But give me your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on that in the comment section below. Let's take a look here. Well, actually, we'll come back. Oh, I've clicked on the wrong button. Let's come back to this one in a moment, and let's take a look here at this. Let's take a look here at GameStar.
오, 가려줘! 내야지! 아이! 내야지! 야, 거기서
Do you know what's funny, right? That's 54 minutes, so what chance? That must have been Garnacho going through on goal. I think it was Garnacho going through on goal at that point. We all felt that pain. We all felt every single second of that yesterday as Man. Now, I didn't pick up a toy gun and shoot it at the screen. But, oh, my days. I felt the pain. I felt the pain of that. How many United fans went through that yesterday? That sort of, oh, we'll score here. Fuck, we missed. We'll score here. Oh, we didn't square it. We'll score here. Oh, he's missed the target again and again and again. I don't know about you, but I felt that a lot yesterday. And I'm taking nothing away from Tottenham. They outclassed us in the... People had a problem with me saying that yesterday. How did they outclass us? Well, we both had chances and they were better in front of goal, more clinical. Both our keepers had saves to make. Their keeper was better. Therefore, in those moments, they outclassed us. Yes, that's how I define it. But maybe you see it differently. I'd love to hear from you on that. Let's take a look here what Gabby at TalkSport has had to say. I want to get your opinions on this, people.
As well as a fan now, every owner, get Radcliffe out, get Ineos out. Listen, your team has got a good enough squad of players. Yes, injuries yesterday, but still the starting team was good enough to win the game. Like you said, Spurs weren't great. But one keeper makes great saves and parries it away from the danger. One keeper parries it straight to Maddison, he scores. That's the difference.
Right. Yeah, completely right.
Listen, I agree with Gabby on this. Not so much. Fans have got the right to call out their owners. I agree with it. At the same time, I watched about 60% of the game back last night, and I just feel that we always do this as Man United fans. We end up moving away from the players. We end up moving away from them being good enough. So last night, I put out a cheeky tweet. Shouldn't have got rid of Anthony. He scored again. Oh, Terry, looks like Anthony was never the problem. It was the club. Depends on your perspective. Depends on your perspective. Why couldn't Anthony do this at Man United? Why couldn't he do it? Could he not handle the pressure? Could he not handle the shirt? Could he not handle the media attention you get? Is he better suited to in the contemporary sense, a smaller club where he feels free and light and happy and less scrutinised? I can't necessarily blame the club for that. I've seen Rashford look brilliant for Aston Villa. Brilliant for Aston Villa. Amazing. But I see him working hard. I didn't see that level of work rate on the pitch for United for 18 months. And before any of you kick off, if you've not watched the Terrace before, you'll make yourself look silly. I love Rashford. I think he's brilliant. I'm happy that he's gone, for him as much as the club, because the relationship came to a sour end. We have to focus on the players here and building a squad that's good enough to play AMORIM style. That, for me, is the biggest focus. The element on the owners is they have to build that squad that is good enough to help get Man United back to the top. Let's take another listen here to TalkSport and a little bit of what I call Ten Hag revisionism.
Do you think Manchester United went too early getting rid of Ten Hag?
Remember the question. Do you think Man United went too early in sacking Ten Hag? Let's take a little listen.
I think so. Look, I think the decision was made that he was going to go, and then we won the FA Cup, and they kind of just they went back on what they probably decided.
They bottled it, didn't they?
They did, but they backed him. They also backed him in the transfer window. Yeah. So why did they go off and sack it?
So did we let him go too early or did we let him go too late? I'm now confused by this conversation. It's not making logical sense. We let him go too late. We didn't let Ten Hag go too early. He should have gone in the summer. That bit is right. And we made a terrible decision in keeping him at the football club. No doubt about it. But what do you mean got rid of him too early? He had to go. Weird question.
But this is where that blame needs to be, like you said, with the board as well as the players. Like, the players aren't giving their all, but some of the decision making.
Yeah, but hold on. Yeah, just go back to Ten Hag a minute, right? Because there's two arguments to that. One is that he's been, he had 3-4 windows he had there. He won the FA Cup, but these signings were everything. In the league campaign last year was not good enough, nowhere near good enough, and it was obvious that the signings that come in this summer, unfortunately, weren't good enough either. So, okay. Should they have gone for AMORIM right at that particular time in January? Should they have stuck with Ten Hag and gone, okay, let's see it to the end of the year? Maybe they should have done that.
No, they shouldn't have done. And this is the issue here. If you're someone that doesn't like free at the back, if you're someone that doesn't like AMORIM, if you're someone that wants him to fail, I can accept that because you're not going to listen to what I'm about to say now. So you may as well switch off. Too many Man United fans want instant gratification. We've got to turn it around now. We've got to become a good team tomorrow. These are the fans who have been saying for years, sack manager A, bring in a right coach, and we'll challenge. We could win the league. We'll get back to the top. They have been wrong every step of the way about almost every facet of the running of the club. So I find it hard to listen to them now. However, we all get things wrong. I thought we would be better than we are now. So maybe 7th, 8th in the league, more wins. but I absolutely expected there to be peaks and troughs and ups and downs. The idea that sacking Ten Hag and bringing in a new coach was going to completely fix us, I think, was folly. Because that hasn't happened once in 11 years. So why would that be different now? Just because there's a structure, just because we've got football decision makers. We are so far down the rabbit's hole. We are so far into the ether. It's going to take a long time to come back. I think the word's ether. If I get that wrong, someone will fucking correct me. And this is what I mean by the instant gratification mob. Say we did wait to the summer. Oh, let's keep Ten Hag to the summer. Let's keep Ruud to the summer. We'd get a pre-season, 5 or 6 new players, and we'd probably look better at the beginning of next season than we do now. But there would still be the peaks and troughs and the ups and downs because the squad would still be incomplete and we still would be at the first 3 or 4 months of implementing a brand new style. Then what would be said is, should have brought him in when we sacked Ten Hag in November. At least then we'd have got 6 more months of implementing the system and style. If you're someone that wants instant gratification, however you assess the situation, you're always going to be upset because you were never going to get what you want. And you are still labouring under that delusion that can happen at Man United and you're wrong. Now, that doesn't mean that you're wrong for not backing Ten Hag or thinking he's good enough. That doesn't mean you're wrong for not liking the approach that Ineos have gone with. But what you have to factor into your mind, even if we go with what you want, it's still going to take 2 to 3 to 4 years to get back to the top. That is for me, is the piece of the puzzle that Man United fans are all ignoring. We can't see it. Let's just say today, Ineos go, do you know what, Joe Bloggs? You're right. We're going to build it in your image. We're going to pick the coach you want, the profiles you want, the system you want. We're going to rebuild every facet of the club to feed what you want. It's still taking 2 to 3 to 4 years because we are completely broken at nearly every single level. Fans have got to drop some of their subjectivity, some of their narcissism, and just understand that this is a long journey back. And whatever we pick, you might not get what we're doing is this. I had this experience in a job I had once where they were changing the fundamental way that the company was operating. It changed dramatically. And I remember seeing this, and I was kind of like a junior member of management. And I just remember watching staff. Some got behind it and put their all into making the new way of working happen. And then you had others that would just, every opportunity would try and trip it up out of frustration that they didn't like it. And I always just remember sitting there looking at it and thinking, this is just crazy. It was my first experience as a 21, 22-year-old in life of people actively trying to mess something up and not giving their all to make it work. And that's how I view this situation. I think as fans, we have a powerful part of a football club. Just because you don't get everything you want doesn't mean you shouldn't be supportive of what we're trying to achieve. I don't think the constant negativity, the vile things I'm seeing be said about the manager, certain players, I don't think that's going to help us. I don't think that demonstrates high standards. I think it demonstrates a lot of narcissism. I want it my way, but your way is also going to take as long. But I think you might have a different approach to the time scale, maybe if you got what you wanted, but that's just narcissistic. I'd love to get your thoughts on that, people. And again, like I've said, if you've got a better solution than finding a manager, picking a philosophy, sticking to it for 3 or 4 years and seeing where we land versus just continually sacking managers and changing direction, let me know. And you might have the same philosophy as me, but you just want a different manager and a different system. But I think then we still want the same thing. So I'm in agreement with you, but we've started one. And once we've started, I think we need to see it through. Maybe that's the distinction here. Let me know in the comment section below. Now, you all know that I love a bit of talk about the football gods. I love the football gods. Take a look at this.
James Maddison is supposed to be, how old now? 27 years old, a former England international, somebody who was signed for a lot of money, who was supposed to be the personality of that team. It is unacceptable for Tottenham to be where they are in the league. And I'm going to talk about Maddison. I'm not going to talk about Bergvall. I'm not going to talk about Jed Spence. Maddison is the player that shouldn't allow it to get this bad.
A few moments later.
Oh, yeah!
Spurs 1-0.
It's a goal.
James Maddison.
Fuck you.
Oi, don't tell me the football gods aren't real. Please don't tell me the football gods don't exist. This happens too regular. This happens on too much of an occurrence there. Love it. Absolutely love it. Big up to the guys at the club. Listen, everyone who's tuned in today, I want to say a big thank you to each and every single one of you. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you all again soon. Peace!